Okay guys, so we're going to show some of the most common mistakes that we see with the 50-50, and then obviously how to avoid them, how to correct them, how to make sure that you don't end up there. So the first one of the most obvious that we see, particularly from people that don't understand the 50-50 position, is they get on top and then from there they're trying to like drive their weight, slide their knee through this position, like literally just trying to run through the leg. This will never ever work, okay? Her leg is in the wrong position. It's a cross, it's a barrier, I cannot do anything from that. Okay, so I can't drive through this position no matter how much it's very difficult. I've seen it a couple of times, but trying to choke your partner's not going to work from here either. Okay, the key to getting out of this position when you're on top is to make sure that you start to clear the knee line here. Okay, once you're out now, you have some options to start escaping from there. Okay, so there's no way that you can drive through this leg. You have to figure out a way to go around it, either by pushing the knee down low or escaping your own knee through that gap. Okay, so that's the first big one. What are the ones that we have from when I'm trying to pass on top? Okay, another big one that we see from the 50-50, particularly when you're on top in this position, is giving your partner too much space. Like standing up here and just hoping that they're not going to spin underneath. It's so easy for the person to get like to get like an underhook anytime I stand up, and they're just going to spin through. So I have to be super aware of this position, okay, and blocking it off and making sure that I don't get caught there. If I realize that she's like trying to go underneath me to spin or whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to close that space off, keep my body back. So if she still tries to spin from this position, it's really not going to be able to. The other thing I can do is keep my knee, so my knee is pointing in this direction again. Even if I'm stood up, she tries to spin now, like go underneath if you can. It's going to be much more difficult because her knee she can't get underneath my knee anymore. All right, so that's a really seriously big one that we see when the people are on top.
So another problem that we see from the 50-50 is especially when both people are sitting down, or even when the person's on top, is these hooks being floppy. So like if Tom were to stand up here, and my hook isn't strong, as he moves away, it's going to flop to the floor. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes we see, especially if you have the hooks locked and then you start to go and attack the back. If the hook is floppy, not hooked on his back, he's going to be able to escape around the corner really easily. So this active hook is really important. Obviously, you can lock your legs to make the 50-50 strong, but then once you want to escape from it, and you should, you have to make the hook on the body. So if we were to switch sides here, the active hooks around the back on the belt, and you always use this to keep distance. If he wants to come up and smash on top of me, I'm using this hook to keep the distance, either by pulling him in with it or stretching him away with it.
Okay, another really big problem when you're in this 50-50 position, it works both ways, but if I bring my leg over to this side of the body, like, for me, I can then use that to start to smash over the top, and now she's in kind of this weird half guard position that I can like start to sprawl through and break. So for the person on bottom, like you have to maintain this control, this leg staying on this side of the body. You don't want it to pass over the top.
Yeah, once it passes over the top, mine has to start to come out as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have to start to play like X guard, or some variation on X guard here to defend.
Make sure that when you're in the 50-50, this leg stays on this side of the body. Your partner's not able to like bring it up over the top here. That's not going to work from there, okay? So really important detail.
If they do bring it across the body, like I said, you have two options. The first is to bring it across, back across, and the second is to abandon the 50-50 and start to lift with the butterfly hook underneath here and escape this way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, another really common one that we see quite a lot of the time. This is again for the person on bottom. If I'm here and I can pass this knee like to my side. I can't do it with Chelsea because she's too small. Chelsea will have to do it to me. But past this knee, past this side here, she can now start smashing through and putting a lot of pressure on me. I'm losing that control of the 50-50 position here. Okay, she can like put a lot of pressure. She can start to drive out from there, and I don't have the same options. I want to try to, if I can, just keep my shin like in front of her. So if she tries to drive through this position, okay, I can use that shin as a frame and stop her like basically smashing me down. Okay, I don't want this over here,
because she'll be able to just smash through that, make my life uncomfortable. Again, we won't be able to do anything. I do want that directly in front in this position.
Okay, so it's another really, really common one. You just have to fight to keep it in that position. Okay, so the final really big mistake that we see from the 50-50 is when people just stall from there. Okay, it's a very easy position to stall from, and it often comes because you get too worried about like fighting out of it or that your partner's going to escape. The 50-50 should be like any other guard. It's an attacking position. That's what you want to use it for. The power of the 50-50 comes if there's an imbalance in skill level. Okay, so if you're better at the 50-50 than the person, use it to attack the person. They're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know how to like stay strong when they're stood up, and you can score a lot of very easy sweeps from that situation. Okay, so when you're here, be active. Don't just hold everything in nice and tight and hope that you're going to be okay. That's not a good tactic. Okay, start to figure out, learn how to like sweep and extract your legs, and then start to come up in strong positions. Or learn how to use the 50-50 to like attack with submissions. Or learn how to use the 50-50 to start like creating space, clearing out, and going to the leg drag or inverting, or any of those kind of things. You know, use it as a position, use it as a guard, not just as a way to stall. And if you do that, you'll find that for a lot of people, you have a massive, massive advantage over them because they just won't know the 50-50 game.
How to do it.
Yeah, how to stay safe, how to not get swept, how to, you know, even control the position. Okay, so that's kind of the big final one. Learn to use the 50-50. Don't actively try to avoid it. Don't actively try to just be, I'm in the 50-50 and not do anything. Learn to use it, learn to attack from it, and learn to transition through to other positions from that 50-50.